Hi guys, Yuliya here. So what I wanted to talk about today is what to do with your tulips after they're done blooming. So a lot of people just discard their tulips after they're done blooming, which is fine, but I keep my tulips season over season in my garden and watch them multiply. They actually will create a lot of babies, and those bulbs will mature and create more tulips for you to enjoy. So the first thing that you do after your tulips are done blooming is deadhead them. And tulips form seed pods like these. So these seed pods will actually have seeds, but what we don't want the plant to spend its energy on producing seeds. We'd rather have it spend its energy on producing a healthy bulb for the following season. So you just go ahead and off with their heads, cut off all of the spent blooms. It looks a little bit nicer, and it's definitely better for your bulb. Now, as the season progresses, your foliage on your tulips will start to turn yellow. And after it's completely yellow, you can cut it down. The reason you do not cut down foliage right now, because as long as the foliage is green, it's producing carbohydrates that send energy down to the bulb. Again, producing a healthier bulb for your bloom next season. Now, after the foliage yellowed, you can cut it to the ground completely. Do not pull on the stem. A lot of people try to pull the yellow foliage out, and it is easier to do than cutting it, but you can pull the bulb or damage the bulb while you do that. After you pull your yellow foliage out of the ground, cut your foliage down to the ground. What I do, and it's been kind of my secret over the years, I put down teas right next to where the bulb or the plant was. So right next to where the stem was. This way, if you were to, say, dig in this bed during the summer and plant some perennials or annuals, you know exactly where your bulbs are. I lose a lot of bulbs that way when I start digging and I don't know where they are. But if I have my big golf tees, I definitely can identify where my tulips are. So I just wanted to mention there are areas in the world where you actually have to dig your tulips and store them in a dry and warm place during the summer for the bulb to cure. I actually lived in the area in zone 2 where we had very wet and cold summers, and tulips originally come from Turkey and that general region where summers are hot and dry, and that helps the bulb to cure. But tulips originally do not come from Holland, which a lot of people think that they do, but they come from Turkey. So we had to dig all of our tulips and put them in the cardboard boxes and store them in a dry and warm location for the summer and plant them again in the fall. It is a little bit labor intensive, but this way you can save your bulbs and don't have to buy new ones. Another question that people ask me is, when do you fertilize your tulips? And fertilizing tulips is one of the best ways you can ensure beautiful blooms for the following season. And I fertilize my tulips in the fall, around October time. This is when they start to produce new roots and they actually enter active growing season. And also at planting, whenever you plant your bulbs in the fall, you can add some fertilizer at planting. And I also fertilize them first thing in the spring. When you see new shoots coming out of the ground, that's when you fertilize them. The fertilizer that I use is bone meal, and bone meal is considered kind of go-to for bulbs in general. There are tons of other bulb fertilizers. If you go to your big box store, you can see bulb fertilizers for your tulips and other bulbs. So I think this is it. But before I go, I just wanted to show you some tulips I have blooming in the border that are gorgeous. I just wanted to show you these beautiful tulips called foxtrot. And when they came out in the earlier spring, they were completely white, and as the season progressed, they were turning more and more pink. I think they're absolutely spectacular. They are so fluffy. They almost look like peonies to me rather than a tulip. And I have a couple more blooming here. But you know, there's an example of what happens when you have your bulbs unattractive foliage. If you overplant it with all kind of perennials, it kind of disappears. So I have some more over here. These are by far my favorite this year. Check this out. Just so beautiful. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful and you learned something new. If you know somebody who wants to know a little bit more about gardening, you can forward this video to them. And thank you so much for watching and leaving all of the lovely comments and questions. And again, if you have any comments and questions, post them in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.